Title: Stood Up. Written by Chastity Fowl. Alhaitham. You were giddy as you woke up, immediately getting ready for the long-awaited date you both have today. Amidst the research he's been busy working with at the time, he finally managed to take a brief break and told you he missed you, wanted to spend time with you, which you couldn't possibly refuse since you miss him just as much. It was heavily snowing outside. You took a mental note as you picked a warm outfit for today. You were very excited about the date that you had arrived 15 minutes early, silently hoping maybe your boyfriend would come a little early too since it's been a while that you both spent a quality time. I need coffee. Alhaitham groaned as he went out from his room, completely exhausted and sleep-deprived. Kave, who coincidentally was in the dining room, just stared at him as if saying, "Then pour it yourself, the fuck?" Alhaitham made a cup for himself and took a sip. "It's noon, and you're just waking up?" The blonde said disapprovingly, while the gray-haired man only sighed. "It can't be helped that I needed to sleep late every day for the past week. Also, mind your own business. Don't you have that presentation you've deemed all week as important today?" He asked, annoyed. "Huh, that was yesterday," Kavi said, confused. Alhaitham widened his eyes. "What?" Panic rises inside Alhaitham's chest as he asked, "What date is it today?" His stomach dropped, refusing to believe that he had mixed up such an important date only because he was delved too deep on his research. Even though he promised to meet you, he looked at the clock. 12 p.m. You both agreed to meet at 9 a.m. 17th. Gavi confirmed, quickly snapping Alhaitham's useless idle thought. The scribe cursed out loud, then went to grab the first coat he saw and swiftly go out. He ran full speed at the agreed spot. He so wanted you to still be there, but perhaps it would be too cruel at your side since you'd be standing still at the same spot, waiting in the cold for 3 whole hours. Then he saw you there, standing as you had your hands deep on your pocket, your nose red from the cold. "YN," Alhaitham called out, but you didn't budge at the noise. He approached you, overwhelmed with guilt. "I'm sorry. I told you before that we didn't have to meet if you were busy. I told you I could wait." You said, uncharacteristically slow, that it was unnerving. "But I didn't mean it like this," you whispered, finally losing it. Alhaitham's heart broke at the tone, but he knew he didn't have the right. "Waiting here for 3 whole hours that people from shop nearby talked to me and said I should warm myself up for a moment, and I stupidly refused, scared that you'd come while I was gone and you'd think I forgot about today." You paused. "I look like a fool. No, I was an utter fool. Please, I can explain." Gosh, what an interesting way to apologize. Your eyes hot with tears that were threatening to spill. Seeing you now, clearly just waking up with no effort whatsoever to get yourself ready? Just, how pathetic do you want me to feel, Alhaitham? You sniffed, feeling uncomfortable and heartbroken. The fact that you were looking forward to today for days, and he did not even bother to remember. That fact cuts deep. The man's heart ached more by the sudden call of his full name, not the usual endearing nickname of Haytham. You walked away, wiping your tears. Alhaitham, who witnessed your back getting smaller as you take a step after another, could only stand still, quietly searching for the words he could find to first and foremost apologize, then to find a way to make it all up to you. Ayato. It was definitely not easy being by Ayato's side, but you made it work. You always do. And Ayato couldn't hope for a more understanding partner, and he didn't let you forget that. But this made you reluctant to voice your worries, scared that he would picture you as this selfish person. But if you were given a wish, perhaps you'd want to be able to spend a little more time with your boyfriend. Just a little. When there's patience, there's too a limit. You were currently waiting for Ayato at the meeting spot you both agreed on the day before. You wouldn't mind a 10 or 15 minutes tardiness. Anyone could have made such a mistake. But feeling how steep your fingers were and seeing the sun position, it's safe to say you've been waiting for more than 4 hours. There are strangers who passed by earlier, and when the same people witnessed you still good in the same spot they saw you, you couldn't help but look down. A quiet, incisive sense of shame overwhelmed you. That you had such faith in this man that you were willing to wait even hours in such weather, not even knowing that if Ayato had felt the same anticipation. Clearly not, since him or even his retainer that usually gave you news about his well-being was nowhere in sight. You couldn't help but laugh self-deprecatingly at your foolishness as you finally decided to give up and go home, not even thinking about the reason why you had forgotten about the date. The bottom line was that he stood you up. Whether it was unintentional, at the end of the day, you were hurt, and it was finally time to tell him that you would not get away with it. The next day, your body had to pay up the price of waiting such a snowy weather that you caught a fever. It wasn't worth it in the slightest, but at least this way you don't have to face him for a while, since you don't really have anything nice to say if forced to see his face. That thought was short-lived, however, seeing that Ayato had decided to come on a day where you both didn't agree to meet up on. You were laying down. Even with a thick layer of clothing, you still felt somewhat cold. You didn't come this morning as you usually do, so I got worried. He explained the sudden visit. Your head hurt, but truly it was incomparable to the ache you were experiencing on your chest. Ayato seemed to have completely forgotten the fact that he was supposed to meet you yesterday. What were you doing that you've become this ill, love? There was nothing but pure concern in his voice, but this made you more spiteful, more infuriated. I was waiting for someone for hours out in the cold yesterday, you said, still burying yourself in a blanket, not bothering to make eye contact with the man. At this, he was thinking back that perhaps you had told him about this engagement, but his expression quickly dropped as he remembered. You wanted to laugh at it since you've never seen such face on him, but that was a luxury you had to postpone until a later date where you had felt a little better. Sweetheart, he quickly said, but you cut him off. Don't call me that. And don't even think about touching me, you said sternly as he swiftly retracted the hand that was about to touch your head. Why, and I apologize, but I. And you've had enough of his excuses. No matter how important, you don't even care anymore. You just wanted Ayato out of your sight. It was always something with you, isn't it? I am tired, Ayato, he said meekly, truly exhausted by the way he always had something to say, a way to get out of being berated. Reasons that you had to understand, even though it was the same as saying that he had put you second. Or maybe below that, yet again. I don't want to understand it anymore. I give up, you finally said. And only at this point Ayato had realized just how much he had hurt you over the course of dating him. I am done being your loyal dog that you can treat however you please. Ayato, leave. YN? I said leave. You repeated. Ayato could only stand up and got out as guilt was eating him away slowly. It wouldn't be an understatement to say that he had taken advantage of your kindness and took you for granted. The regrets tasted bitter on his tongue. As he went out from your haven, there was only one thing running through his mind. How could he possibly fix this?